back. Well, reports show that children in the U.S. are falling behind other countries in science and math.
Yeah, our next guest decided to do something about it and get them started when they're young. Here now with us is Karen Martinson. She started the Place for Kids STEM Daycare, and STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. And along with her is one of her very happy mothers, Laura Sinofsky-Baum. And we want to welcome you both to the show.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you so much.
When people hear engineering and math and daycare,
and kids,
they usually put, it's more like nap time and snack time is what people think of when it comes to daycare. How are you guys different?
Well, our difference really is that STEM program. So in addition to kindergarten prep, we make sure that we give the kids a curriculum rich in science, technology, engineering, and math. So each month we have a different topic in engineering that we focus on.
So it might be like what?
It might be acoustic engineering, and I have a prop to show you how that would work.
Okay, I need to see how this works, because you've got different colors of water in these glasses.
So this is our water xylophone. And before we even touch that, I'm going to talk to you about how sound is made. Do anyone know how sound is made at all?
Vibration.
When Tiffany opens up her mouth?
Yes, by the vibrations back here.
Correct. So vibration, the object vibrates and it pushes the air around it. So if you were to touch your throat right now, as you speak, you can feel the vibration in your throat.
Yeah,
as you whisper, it goes down. So the stronger the vibration, the louder the sound. And so with this this little water xylophone that we have here, when you can hear it go. But you can also see that the water is vibrating. And so as the water vibrates, you can have the air is pushed. And that's why we're hearing that sound.
So cool. You gave a great example of, like, instead of a child coming in and being like, oh, what did you do last night? Or, oh, I like the t-shirt you're wearing. You might say something like what?
Well, instead of them coming in and, for example, infants, we might say, oh, your friends in the other classroom are learning about acoustic engineering today. They're learning about how sound is made and how an object vibrates and pushes the air around it. Or we start teaching them about phonics, even at infant level. So her daughter in the infant room is learning how letter sounds are made. So instead of our traditional ABC song, we go A, alligator, B, ball, all the way through the alphabet. So they're learning phonics extremely young. By the time they're 2 and verbal enough, they can sing this entire song, and by the time they're 3, we're doing letter blends and they're starting to read very young. So it's not just STEM. We really touch on a very strong kindergarten prep as well.
I think that's fascinating, because a lot of people at first balk, thinking about, entering your child this young. They're going to say, well, they're not going to really grasp anything. They're not going to get anything. But the way that you make everything, it's just hearing the words over. It's understanding it. It's starting to get these little pieces together that are age appropriate and some that are going to come. I can imagine all just sort of start to be ingrained in the child.
Correct. And I'm glad that you brought that up. The reason why it's important to start now is because in everyone's first 5 years of life, that's when we learn the fastest. It's called synaptic density. There should be a slide that they may be able to put up for us. And so between birth and age 5, we have the most neurological pathway connections developed. And as you look at this slide here, you see the very first one.
Mine?
Yes, that's mine too. No, but at birth, you see you don't have as many lit up. By the time you're 6 years old, look at how many neurological pathway connections that are developed. And by the time we're 14, they start to die off. So let's say we give you an example of walking in the forest. If you walked in the forest and you were the first one through, you would have a very difficult time getting through that path. It would be almost impossible. So you would probably turn back and give up. With the synaptic density, if a child repeats the same thing over and over, it's sort of like creating a cleaner path. It's called synaptic pruning. So the reason why I'm introducing this right now is because we want them to be exposed to things people are typically uncomfortable with, so that there's a comfort level and they won't turn away or say no to it much later in life. We also intentionally introduce failure with our STEM projects with the first one.
I like that.
And so the reason for that is so that instead of feeling like something's difficult and we need to just give up, I want them to understand that anything in life is worth working at. So, okay, it's a little bit hard, but we need to go and redesign that project and try again instead of walking away from it.
Now, Laura, you have 3 children. I do. 5, 3, and 3.5 months, right?
Correct,
You're a busy mom, a very busy mom. What is it that you like about this daycare and that for your cuties,
So
they're really cute.
Thank you.
How do you see this as being different and enriching for them?
You know, my kids have been in daycare. Obviously, as you mentioned, I have a 5-year-old. They've been in daycare since they were little. I'm a full-time mom on top of it all. And it's really important to have my kids be enthusiastic about learning. And one of the things that I've noticed in the past is when I've had them in daycare and I've asked them, what did you learn today? And they can't give me an answer, and that's kind of frustrating to me because education is so important. So with this program, I find they're very excited. When I actually went on maternity leave and I had to pull them out begrudgingly out of daycare and kicking and screaming, my oldest made me go back to the daycare to get this plant that they had basically constructed, that they built with an irrigation system. And she was so excited about that. And each day to this day, they still go over and they check the plants.
Adorable.
To see, there you go. They actually check the plants to see if they're growing, and they love watching how that irrigation system works. So they're enthusiastic and they love what they're learning. And there's a real sense of family when you go here. Whereas some of the other places that I've gone to and I've seen, and I'm great that you actually have those pictures, you'll find that it's very warm and inviting, and to the point that you're not necessarily another person in the daycare with a child, it's a friend. And if you have questions about parenting or tips that you want to get, we can do that, and that's something that's really great. And there have been many a times that I've actually had to literally pull my kids out of the center and say, really, we really have to get home.
That's an awesome feeling as a mom.
Enjoy it.
You don't want to have them crying and screaming when you drop them off. You want them to be happy to go, and when you go to pick them up, you want them to be sad to leave. I think that's the ideal scenario.
Scientists.
Oh, it's so cute.
I love that.
They love it.
And is this, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, in terms of families who are interested in this, is it very expensive?
No, it's not. In fact, I tried to make it very competitive in price so that everyone would have the opportunity to come to our center. So I would say right now, traditionally, you would find an infant rate of about $265, and other daycares, ours is at $245 a week for full-time care.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I'm very impressed. It's exciting to learn more. And the Place for Kids right now is enrolling. If you mention the appearance on the Morning Blend, like them on Facebook, or look for the Money Mailer flyer.
In Germantown.
In Germantown, you can get more information. They are located at Maple and is it Freistadt?
Correct.
Freistadt Road in Germantown. The phone number for more information, 262-250-1444, or go to theplaceforkids.net. And they will waive the cost of tuition for 1 week if you mention the Morning Blend, like you on Facebook, or also pick up that mailer flyer.
Correct.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
Nice to have you ladies here.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.